Almost 3 years ago, I began documenting my progress in the painting techniques I had learned while watching YouTube. I'm glad to say I've come a long way since then, but there's always more to learn, practice, and share. So, bienvenidos and welcome to my channel. Episode 57, Vecna, Eve of Ruin. A very ghoul episode with all the white stuff. Continuing on with my Vecna campaign minis, I started working on the wights and ghouls needed for the first part of the adventure. Keeping with the idea of the project, I again used speed paints to cut my painting time in half. The total painting time for these 7 minis was less than 6 hours spread out over 5 days. So yeah, speed paints for the win. Well, I started the wights off with a metallic armor using Army Painter's enchanted steel. That day was not a good day for me, so I decided I want paint just for me, so I didn't record. Moving on with the leather quiver and straps, I used Army Painter's hardened leather and continued with the assembly line painting. For the wight's pale blue skin, I chose Army Painter's Battleship Gray, and for me it was a perfect match with the Monster Manual artwork. Since the wight needed white hair, I chose Army Painter's Holy Wight for the wight's white hair. Guess how many takes that took? I had some errors in printing, and only 2 of the wights actually ended up holding swords. But for the two of them, I chose Army Painter's Polished Silver with great results. Sadly, after painting was completed and before they hit the table, those swords broke off and disappeared. This is the only evidence of their existence. Moving on from the Wight's white hair, I wanted to get the eyes done. For the base, I used Army Painter's Matte White, and for the red glow, I chose Pro Acryl's Fluorescent Red. Before I even painted the minis, I had added some of the AK neutral texture for Earth that I had picked up on a recent trip to Silicon Valley. I enjoyed the coverage and smooth application. This was a quick way to spice up a boring base mini. When I went to finish the base, I chose Army Painter's Brownish Decay for the ground as it gave the Earth a cursed look, perfect for undead. Following all that up with Army Painter's Matte Black around the base's edge, I saw a huge improvement over my last batch with only 2 extra steps. I think from now on, anytime I have a bland, boring base and I want to upgrade it in a hurry, I'll use the texture paste, and it's going to be my standard because these came out great. With the bulk of the painting done, I wanted to give the mini a coat of Army Painter's dark tone to bring up the details and even out the finish. With the wights done, it was time to move on to the ghouls. Thankfully, there were only 2 of them, so I was able to get them both done in one sitting. Starting with the biggest surface to cover, I chose Army Painter's Ashton Stone for the ghoul's skin. Moving on to the rags around its waist, I thought Army Painter's warrior skin would be a good match, and I was right. Once it was done, it gave off the feel of tanned skin or hide, adding to the primal look. Once again, I had issues with the printer, and only one of the two actually kept their tongue. Army Painter's bright red was the perfect choice, and I'm thankful to report he still has his tongue. Keeping with the look of the other minis, I went over the texture paste with Army Painter's brownish decay, and there was much rejoicing. I finished off the ghouls by painting the eyes with more matte white and fluorescent red, then hit the mini with a coat of dark tone to round it out. There they are, the next wave of minis in the batch, ready for the table. Give me your feedback in the comments below. Tell me what I did right and what I did wrong. I hope you had a cool time watching this episode. It was a lot of fun to bring it to you and getting the minis on the table. If you want to help the channel, there are lots of ways that won't even cost you a cent. You can hit the subscribe button and not miss another episode. You can slap the like button and feed the almighty algorithm. You can share this or any of my videos on your favorite social media. Don't forget to follow the channel on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Patreon. You'll find the links to those in the description down below. And while you breathlessly wait for the next episode to drop, remember, they ain't gonna paint themselves.